Welcome to Blind But Not Broken podcast. Here's your host, Junior.
Hey guys, welcome to Blind But Not Broken podcast. I'm your host Junior. I had to share an update with you. I have been talking to my an old friend of mine. Don't want to say old, but he's a friend of mine that we kind of came up together in our you know early 20s, and uh, we're in Faribault, Minnesota. His name is Kevin Kuhn, and he is an amazing guy. And we lost track because I went trucking and kind of disappeared on everybody and did my own thing and et cetera. So it was kind of a uh, kind of a disappearing act on my part. And he got married to his girlfriend at the time and had a couple kids, and now he's got grandkids, and he's just we talked a little bit, and it's amazing, all the things to catch up on and stuff. But I mean, this is a guy that we used to do some pretty wicked stuff. We worked. I introduced him because I was a bodyguard for a guy named Myron Robert Wilson. He was a uh, he was a doctor, and he ran a place called the Wilson Center, which that has a totally different uh, that can get into a can of worms just on that alone. But I introduced him, and he used to bartend with me up there and stuff, and we used to do just different things. We went through Marine and Small Engine School together, and uh, you know, just we were good friends. And this is back when life was just so much simpler. It was amazing, and thinking about all the different stuff. I mean, this is you gotta remember these are all good old boys up there. They were doing the hunting and the fishing and I was that was when I was having a ball doing all of that. And uh you know got I actually saw him on uh a f- uh, well saw him. I actually uh found out of him on a Facebook page from the center. And it kind of blew me away, uh just taking me back to a lot of years ago. And it was it was so amazing to reconnect with him and to see how well he's done for himself. So proud of him. And he, you know, I mean, he's gone through a lot too, but I mean, he has the great life, and he's active in his community in the whole nine yards. And it's just it really amazed me. It was like something that kind of brought us together because we also were both friends. I found out uh with Dan, who was like a brother to me, Dan Bauer, who was Dan passed away here a little bit ago. And it he's Dan is the reason why I am now reaching out to different people as to tell them different things, um so that I can make sure they know that I care, because I have never been really good at keeping in touch with just people. And so it's uh the the fact that he was such a part of my life at that point back then, um is just brought up a lot of that. And with Dan passing on and stuff, and Dan was, again, he was just a good old boy. He did his own thing, and he loved to work on stuff. I mean, he would rebuild tractors and stuff. It was, Dan was very good with his hands. Um, just as his wife. Anyway, but I just it's nice to be able to uh reconnect with some of these folks that I have wondered what happened to them. And that's one of the things you learn really fast with uh personal development. That's one of the things you learn, is that you have to make these things happen. And if you care about people, you got to let them know, because you don't know how long you're going to be here. Dan was living proof of that. Um, but one of the things that's really cool about it is that all these things are coming into place. It's like I'm applying for a guide dog, and there's so much stuff I've got to do. I got to go through the state, I got to go through, and I've got to take some kind of mobility class, and then I can continue the application to um the the guide dog place. And then I got to go over there for a month, and train with the dog, and learn everything. And you know, the lady I talked to the lady today about it, and she was amazing. And I think she's on her fourth or fifth dog, and she's amazing, and she actually helps people. This woman, I mean, she just impressed me. It takes a lot to impress me, and she impressed me. I mean, she was married in her, when she was in her 30s, and 20s or whatever, and she was in New Jersey, and now she's working out in Palm Springs, California. And what a culture shock that's got to be. But yet she's just helping people, and it's like, to be able to do that, and to be able to just help folks, and be a advocate for people. That's got to be an amazing feeling. I mean, you got to be a people person to do that kind of stuff. I mean, that's why I do the podcast, because I mean, it's like, when I get the equipment that I need for this, I will start doing live podcasts, so that people can actually call in, and talk to me and stuff. And that, again, is another part of my journey that I'm going to be doing, that's way out of my comfort zone, because uh, I don't, I just don't talk to a lot of people. It's like, I haven't in a very long time. I mean, I just, uh, I feel more comfortable being alone and doing my own thing. And it doesn't have to do with anything in particular. It's just, I learned from a really young age that uh, a lot of people are not trustworthy. And uh, instead of, I mean, I have a problem that I feel what people feel, and I don't like that part of myself. The fact that I can, feel things when somebody's not feeling well, or not doing real well. I mean, I feel it, and then it really affects me. And it's like, I don't know what you call it. I've never really thought about it, but that's happened my whole life. And I learned a long time ago that it was just easier not to deal with do my own thing, travel that's why I was such a good trucker, traveling the country and doing the different things that I did and driving on ice roads, driving on the ocean, fishing everywhere. I loved to fish and got to fish everywhere and uh got to play with snow bunnies in Aspen, Colorado and got to go to all the Six Flags around the country and do all these different things. And it's like, but you don't think about, I guess, the ones you leave behind. And that's what today kind of taught me, as well as Daniel being gone. It kind of taught me that, I mean, when you say, I'll call you tomorrow or I'll call you next week or I'll call soon, and then you don't do it, you don't know when you're not going to be able to not do it. You just don't know. I mean, a long time ago, I thought about the fact of, live like you were dying. Uh, Live like tomorrow or today's your last day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, and that because it's not. You could walk out of your house. It doesn't matter if you're in a rich neighborhood, a poor neighborhood, doesn't matter. You could walk out, you could drop dead. You could walk out and get, stray bullet hit you. You could walk out and trip and break your neck. You don't know or you could walk out and somebody really dear to you in your house or near you or friends or whatever could pass away. It is a it is a marvelous thing to let those that you do care about, let them know that. I have friends that think it's funny because take and I uh when I hang up the phone with them, I say I love you. It's the last thing I say to them. I don't say goodbye. I say I love you. Because if that is the last time I talk to them, I want that to be what they hear last. I want that to be what I know that I said last to them. Because if the worst possible scenario does happen, at least they knew how I felt. I mean, it's an amazing thing, when you think about it. If you and I'm very passionate about that. I don't care what others think. I don't really care about it. I just the way I look at it is, we each have to do our own thing, be your own person, not worry about how you look, you know, dance in the rain, dance half naked, you know, uh, tell funny jokes. Who cares if you geek out? Who cares if Joe Blow laughs at you? Who gives a crap? Joe Blow has nothing to do with your life. Don't let Joe Blow control anything about your life. You know, don't let anybody. Your friends are going to love you for who you are, and if they don't, then they're not really friends, are they? I mean, if they're trying to help you for some reason or whatever, now that's another thing, and you're doing bad things to yourself. Again, you got a common sense here. Uh, if you're doing drugs and passing out constantly, probably shouldn't be doing that. And if your friends intervene, that's true friendship, that's true love because they care about you. I'm talking about just if you are just being you, whether it be they think it's crazy or not, doesn't matter. They're going to love you anyway because that's what people do. And these people that do, well, I used to love so and so. You don't never used to anything. If you used to love them, then you never loved them in the first place. You never stop loving somebody. Doesn't matter how bad they hurt you. Once you love somebody, you love somebody. And you may not like them, but you love them. And a lot of people go through that. I see it, I hear about it all the time. Um, but you have to you you have to learn to get over it and get over yourself. And that's what I've had to do. I've had to learn to get over myself, because you know what? It's not all about me. It's about the world, and it's about the people that I care about, and it's about you know leaving something good for the next generation. You know, I mean, there's pain in every generation, but you always have that generation that does most of the pain, and then you have a bunch of generations that just kind of skim by, and then you've got that generation that ends up paying for everything again. That happens. It's happened throughout time. It's going to keep happening because that's just the way it is. Human nature is me, me, me. And the key is to start looking around you and start realizing, what you can do or whatever. It's like, yeah, every once in a while, when I ate fast food, we would every once in a while we'd pay for the person behind us their fast food, just to be nice, you know. I mean, it costs you sometimes, but it was like, who cares? It's like the shock that you're creating to them. And who knows if they pay it forward, and you tell the person, in the line or whatever, you pay for the groceries, you say, just pay it forward. And that's how you get somebody has to make the first move. Somebody has to make the first move. And it's like, if everybody's going, well, what do I get out of it? Then that's not making the first move. That's being really selfish and not worrying about anybody else but yourself. And honestly, I don't want to be that person. What about you? Do you want to be that person? I mean, is that who you want to be when it's all said and done, and your kids or whatever, uh, realize that, you know, you never taught them this? I mean, is that something you really want to deal with, or do you want to show them to love everybody? I mean, that's what I try to do, love everybody. Uh, you know, it's all about, especially children. You know, children are innocents. They shouldn't have to be dealing with all the hate and crap that's going on in the world. They should be having fun and being able to play and learning life lessons, because that's what it's all about. That's what growing up is all about. Learning life lessons, learning things that you know, you can that you can make the world a better place, that it only takes one person to change the world. There's many examples of that. One person changing everything. I mean, changing a lot of different stuff. You've got plenty of examples to go out there and look at. It just takes us as individuals to decide that's what we want to do, you know. And like I said, I mean, all these things came up, all these dreams and all this different stuff came up with talking to Kevin, and it was like, it reminded me of things I used to think were important, and now to look at it in a reality aspect, a lot of it wasn't really that important, you know. What was important was the times that you had with those that were there. It reminded me of a guy named Jack Rasmussen, who uh, was an incredible man. He was a mechanic. He worked for the center also, and he had a wife and a kid. And I used to go spend, excuse me, I used to go and spend nights over at his place. He lived literally right on the lake out there. And he was an amazing man, and I haven't heard from him since I left there all those years ago. I have no clue about him. I've researched a little bit on him and can't find him. But, you know, again, that's my fault. I ghosted everybody because that's who I was. I was somebody that didn't I didn't think beyond the end of my nose back then. I just didn't. I was a loner and I did my own thing, and that's how it was. Not saying it was right, saying that's what I did. And the reason I'm saying it to y'all is because maybe this will hit one person the right way and they'll start doing that. Maybe you haven't talked to your siblings in a while, or maybe you haven't talked to your mother or father or your grandparents, or your good friend, a childhood friend. You don't know. But how cool would it be to maybe see what you missed out on and maybe not have to miss out on anything more, because you don't have to. As I say in every other video I do, you have an opportunity to change every day that ends in Y. You just have to choose to do it. And it is a choice. I mean, I believe that with all my heart. It's a choice. And it's amazing that every once in a while somebody gets thrown into your path. And I haven't talked to Kevin in, it's gotta be 40 years. And yet we went back to talking like we never stopped. How cool is that? Pretty awesome, I thought. But I want that for everybody. I want that kind of feeling that I don't know, for lack of better, warm and fuzzy, or however you want to put it. I want that for everybody. I want you to be able to experience those kind of things. Being with that person. It doesn't take much. It's not a waste of time. If you ever listen to the song by uh, uh, Tim, oh, I can't even think of his last name now. Had it on top. Anyway, uh, he has a song called "Live Like You Were Dying," and it's a country song, but it's so good. And if you get a chance to watch the video, it will it will really it will really bring it down to just the bareness of it. It's very good. Uh, and but it's true. Live every day like it's your last, because someday you're going to be right. Someday it will be your last day. And on that day, you don't want to have a huge amount of regrets that, wow, I should have called so and so, or I should have done this, or I should have done that. It's, you don't want to have those type of regrets, when they're so easy to avoid. You just have to want to, and you just have to make that effort. I hope you choose to, because like I said, it definitely did wonders for my, not that I'm not upbeat, because I am, but it did wonders for my psyche, uh to be able to reconnect with Kevin. And uh and then y'all need to wish me luck, because I'm going after a guide dog, and I've got all these applications I'm filling out for this thing, and these things are tough to get. But if I can get that, it'll give me a heck of a lot of freedom, to where I'll be able to go out on my own without somebody, and maybe I can start fishing again. Who knows? I'm not going to try hunting, because honestly, um, I don't want to shoot at a noise and end up hearing, oh, yeah, that could kind of suck. Blind people hunting. I don't think there's any laws against it, but I think there should be. Anyway, anyway, I hope you guys choose, like I said, to make this your best day ever. You have that opportunity every day that ends in Y. I thank you so much for listening to my ramble, and hopefully you get something out of it. And I hope you choose to change your life for the better. Like I said, every day that ends in Y, it's up to you. So, you guys take her easy till next time. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll talk to you later.